As nonprofit organizations take on increasing responsibility for the direct social welfare needs of local communities, their role in creating meaningful social change becomes more and more essential. While we often think about effecting change through political advocacy or lobbying, research by Michael Shire and Famita Handy demonstrates that the social innovations you implement within service delivery nonprofits can have a significant impact in making meaningful social change. Nonprofits create social change through three main types of social innovation: product-based social innovations, process-based social innovations, and socially transformative social innovations. Product-based social innovations create social change by offering new programs or adapting existing services to address unmet needs. One way that you can engage in product-based social innovation is to create more inclusive services. For example, you could work to increase the age threshold of your programming beyond a funder-specified limit, or combine multiple services to facilitate inclusion of a higher needs group. You could also adapt existing programming to enhance client outcomes. You might incorporate new intervention models into existing services, or bring multiple supports to a single location to create a service delivery hub. Your organization might even consider changing the general focus of your efforts to better suit the needs of your service population. For instance, one organization that supports children with disabilities recognized that the families of their children often struggled with basic financial need. This prompted them to shift their activities and instead provide housing supports for these families. Process-based social innovations create social change by adapting an organization's structure or internal processes to create better outcomes for service users. One major area for process-based social innovation is your organization's methods of engagement with its four groups of key stakeholders. First and foremost, your service users. You might engage service users by seeking their feedback on program design and operations, or including them in the governance structures of your organization. You could also create new opportunities by working collaboratively with other organizations in your field, or create formal partnership arrangements that make it easier for involved organizations to reach their program goals. Another group to keep in mind are funders. Your organization can change its relationship with funders by diversifying your financial base, perhaps through developing a social enterprise or creating a fee-for-service model. Finally, your organization can consider how it engages with its own staff. For example, working to bolster your organization's culture or emphasizing your staff's training and professional development can have a positive impact on service outcomes. Process-based social innovation can also involve changing your organizational practices, processes, and structures. You might change your hours of operation to better suit your client population, or create new positions to address critical needs. For example, one organization developed the position of advocacy coordinator in response to a high number of service requests for advocacy-related issues. Creating a single position, rather than dividing the task among individual workers, enabled a streamlined approach to intervention and the identification of major trends requiring systemic advocacy efforts. Socially transformative social innovations create social change by addressing systemic issues like oppression, social inequality, or negative perceptions and stereotypes. This change can take place inside service delivery organizations or in society. One way to create social change is by raising public awareness around a social issue or a vulnerable group. You could educate the public on the major challenges in your local community, or spread awareness of the services you provide and why those services are important. You could also promote community engagement by engaging the public on how they can get involved in solving local challenges and mobilizing their efforts to create social change. Or you could work to change public perceptions around a social issue or a vulnerable population by challenging negative perspectives and stereotypes through community information sessions or a large-scale education initiative. You can also create social change by influencing public policy that affects the people you serve. You might bring information forward to influence key decision makers. For instance, demonstrating emerging needs to a funding organization or educating local employers on ways to make their workplaces friendlier and more accommodating. You could also engage in research efforts to investigate service gaps in your area or assess the impact of a new policy direction on your service users. Your organization could increase their capacity to affect policy by joining other nonprofits in local or provincial networks. These networks can focus on widely impacting social issues like homelessness or food insecurity and leverage their collective knowledge and influence to promote large-scale changes. Finally, your organization could participate in government-led forums that invite participation and input about upcoming policy decisions. Through product-based, process-based, and socially transformative social innovations, you and your organization can bring the voices of your service users forward to make an impact on social change.